Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Yeah. All right, so getting started, I have a couple of photos from some of our prior meetings. So who are we this year? This is on the left, one of our general meetings, and on the right, this is our call out. You can probably see some of you in that photo. I recognize quite a bit of you. So here are some breakdowns as to like who our club is made up of this year. So not surprisingly, we get a lot of freshmen. That's like pretty typical. We're like 90% freshmen. It just kind of happens that way. But besides that, we very heavily have mechanical engineering people. We're very heavy on electrical, computer, CS. So pretty good breakdown. We are above 60% engineering, which also makes sense, but 30% of us are mechanical engineers. So I thought this was kind of interesting, so I decided to put that up here. So why are we here, and why are we in this team? At the very start of the year, I set out just like a few like higher level goals that like I wanted to actually meet for the club this year. The first one being secure ourselves as a top club at Purdue, and this comes in like a few different forms. One of them is we want to have more social events. That was kind of the intent behind the bowling event, and I guess the photo taking as well at the boba, but also having like a more rich like social media presence. So we're definitely going to be scaling that up a bit as well. So this for me is one of the top goals. I think for any club, you want to strive to be the best you can. The second goal I have is improving the technical robustness of the team. So this can include better organization, so making onboarding better, which I think the control team, shout out, did a very good job with the mini bot. So, and also like, yeah. But besides that, it can include documentation. And the reason for that is almost all of our officers are seniors. So we are all graduating, meaning there's a very big gap in knowledge that we're trying to kind of like close the gap with. So having documentation can really help. And it'll assist like passing down knowledge to all of you who will hopefully stick around. And this can include handing off projects. So this is another big thing, like allowing people to have ownership in the club and ownership in like various projects. So we're definitely striving towards that. And the last thing, of course, we want to have some fun and build some robots like the ones that are up here. Another top goal of ours. So how are we meeting these goals? Well, quite a few different ways. These, I think, are some of my favorite things that we've done so far. I can't tell who's in that bowling photo, but great form. Yeah, that was fun. And then we also have like our general meetings where everybody comes by and does work. Down here is the Be Involved Fair, general meetings, and also some videos on YouTube. So I think so far, all of these things have been great strides. Me personally, I'm very happy to see how we're doing at this point in the semester. And we're definitely going to be keeping this up. So for some general club progress, so that is this robot here. I just like that video. But besides that, we have some updates regarding funding. So we joined Pepsi. I think I mentioned this a couple times, but that's the Purdue Engineering President's Council. So they give us like resources and funding. So we got like a small grant for like events or something like that. And like every couple of weeks we get together and meet and try to figure out ways that we can like help out student organizations at Purdue. The second one is we got sponsored by the CS department, which is pretty new. We have not been in the past. Thank you. So we got $2,500 from them, which is more than enough to build one robot. So that's kind of nice. And then we also got higher funding from the ME department. I don't know the exact number, but the dean said it was going up. So. And then besides that, we had a lot more events this year. So we have our like Tech Talk series, which if you haven't been to, I highly, highly recommend you go. It's fun and we generally have snacks. So we'll have one on like computer vision coming up at some point in the near future. So definitely come by that one. Besides that, we have the November Scrim, which I believe has not really been mentioned yet. So I'll talk about that in a second. But basically that is a chance for everybody here to pilot a robot and basically do like a 1v1 battle with like our own robots and between our own robots. So if you haven't driven the robot and you want to get a feel for how it actually is to compete, that's a very good time. And then we also have the case competition, which is a brand new thing for us. So Tony will be talking about that. I don't know, you can talk about it later right now either. Sure. So yeah, Tony will just introduce this and kind of what this is.
Let me just go after that slide real quick. Just jump a little bit spoiler alert. But my name is Tony. I'm a senior in finance and business analytics and information management. Don't worry, it's not a triple major, it's double majoring. So as for the case competition, so who here wants to win the total of $2,000? Raise your hand. Yeah, money always good. And then who wants to have another booster on their resume, especially for the freshmen and the sophomores? Here we go. And who wants to have a networking opportunity with peers? Yeah. I like this guy. Okay, so but basically, this is where the case competition comes in. Like the case release is gonna be tomorrow, so you still have today to sign up. And then the actual case competition, like presentation day, will be on November 9th. And during this time, for the finalists, I think the first place gets $1,000 in prize, the second place gets $700, the third place gets $300. So go compete and then go aim for the first. And then if you can go down to the next slide, and if you're interested, you can scan the QR code on the left.
Want to explain what the case competition is?
Yes. Okay. So who here knows what case competition is? I probably should have started with that question.
No one.
Great. Huh? Who here knows what the case competition is? Do let's explanation, please.
Well, you give it like a case and a problem, like usually in groups, and you kind of people in the group have to figure out a solution and kind of present a solution to like usually a panel of judges, and whoever has the best solution usually wins the case and gets placed. Okay, it's kind of like a project basically.
Spot on. What's your name? Shaylin?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, I want to note that name down. Are you participating? Are you gonna participate?
He's in the business team.
I mean, shame. I was gonna slip some notes under the table, but I guess not. Okay, but just like he said, this is exactly what a case competition is. We'll be provided a business problem, and in this case, some part of it will be very technical, and this is where, and it's really highly recommended to have at least one engineer and one business student on each team. And so this also they also have the incentive for the two colleges to work with each other. And if you're interested, scan the QR code on the left, and then you will be the direct sign up link. And I understand this is like very last moment. You probably don't know much people on the business side, and which here we have a teammate matching form. So if you're interested and want to join but doesn't have a team yet, you can scan the QR code on the right, and then right, and then fill out the teammate matching form. Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Tony. So we were here. Awesome. Okay, so a little bit more for some club progress. On the left, you guys probably recognize this. This is the mini bot. This is a reel that I posted on Instagram like earlier this week, and it has 2,000 views. I can't believe it. And here is a POV if you are the mini bot. I said quality is so bad. There we go. All right. Yeah, so if you couldn't tell, I kind of like it. I think it's kind of fun. Okay, so I forgot about this. I had a poll on Instagram as well where I asked people if they think the mini bot is awesome, and I gave them two options. I gave it yes, and I gave it yes. So show of hands, who thinks the top answer was yes? All right, here are the poll results. Oh, I did the wrong thing. There we go. 100% yes. All right, so I mentioned this like a second ago, the November Scrim. So what this is it's a chance for everybody here to pilot and scrimmage in like a 1v1 format against, I guess, your teammates. So we'll set up like a 1v1 field, and you'll get a chance to like drive the robot and actually fight like you're in a real match. So here are a couple photos that hopefully explain it a bit better. So the left is an example from inside the field. The center is the type of field that we're going to set up. It's like a pretty large 1v1 field that fits 2 robots. And on the right, it shows the inside with the 2 walls and the 2 robots actually fighting. So if this is interesting, this will happen in November. I highly recommend that all of you come out and get a chance to drive the robot, because I promise you will realize how fun it can be. And I think you'll enjoy it. So now actually going and evaluating our progress, because October Outlook is meant to be kind of like a review of how the semester has gone so far. So here are the same 3 goals I talked about already. The first one being securing ourselves as a top club at Purdue. I put like the clock emoji there because I feel like it's kind of pending. I think we're making good steps, but there's definitely more that we can still be doing. Meaning keeping up with the social events and keeping up the social media presence as well. And improving the technical robustness of our team. Better organization. I think we've done very good for onboarding this year, and I would hope you guys would agree with that as well. But I think there's more work we can do for documentation, which can be like really a job for the leads. So I think we'll continue to prioritize that. And also handing out projects to members. That's kind of the point of like the mentorship projects. So every project should be something that you guys are working on in your team, and it's something that is really just you guys that are working on it and actually making it come to life. And the last one I checked off because I think we're having some fun and we're building some robots. So I checked that one off. So now we're going to go on from the general team progress over to sub-team progress. So I'm going to have each one of the leads come up and explain the progress in each one of their respective teams. So starting off will be mechanical. Cool. Awesome.
All right, hey guys. Our team lead is currently on a mission she never told us about, so I will be doing her job for today. So first of all, we're gonna kind of look at the onboarding that we're doing. So 2 of our newer members have just finished their onboarding. You can see a photo over here. That's by Kale. It's a pretty neat launcher. And then we have around more than 3 members still working on their onboarding project. It's a big one, so it takes a little more time, but yeah, it's going pretty smooth. Hopefully we'll be seeing a lot of amazing work. And then as for some of our old members, we are mostly working on the Hero this semester, so the on the wheel Hero. So mostly we're working on the feeding, the launching system, and the chassis at the same time. So I don't know if we can see this video. So yeah, this is our the first iteration of our Hero feeding done. This was built based on a design from last year by our former lead, Jason, and improved by Alex. And in the middle, you can see that is our first iteration of our entire gimbal done. So the feeding, the launching, and then to the right is the still work in progress on the wheel chassis that you guys will probably be seeing hopefully by the end of the semester. Whoops. Why are you doing this to me? There you go. Okay, and then field fabrication. So we've also... Oh yeah, sorry.
Also, is that mic still working?
Yeah.
Hello? Testing.
Maybe.
Testing.
Funny.
It's saying battery.
Oh, it's probably dead. It's okay. I'm recording on here, so just shout.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Just yell.
Yeah.
Let me try to fix it.
Field Fab Lead is also MIA, so I'm filling in for them. We built this super exciting, weird-looking wood thing, which holds up the Swerve robot, so Swerve can be tested without the robot trying to run away. Has it been used yet? Does it work? I don't know if it works, but hopefully it works. And that's some CAD of it. So far, that's the only really physical thing we've made. We've also worked on some field element designs and stuff like that. But yeah.
Hello? Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So now we have a mic.
I'm gonna check it's still being picked up at OBS. I think it's okay. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so some of our future goals. So obviously we're trying to kind of finalize on the onboarding designs and hoping to fabricate them and test them out. And we're also trying to complete the training to enter Klondike so that we can actually start working on the physical robot. Obviously that's pretty important. And then we want to schedule a meeting for the new rule discussion. So the new rules, in case you didn't know, was released, I believe, this Monday. So the new 2025 rules, they're a bit different. So aside from we're trying to host a meeting that we have to see any adjustments we have to make to our current Sentry, current Hero, current Standard, and make duplications and changes to them. And then we are trying to have our first version of the Omni chassis for the Hero done by the end of November, and have at least one robot done by the end of the semester.
Hello guys, the control lead. How's it going? Okay, cool. So we made a lot of good progress on the control team. So on the first part, we got all the members through the onboarding projects, which is pretty huge. And also Super Special Squad was the first team to finish the Minibot project, so shout out to them. On the other side, we just worked on finalizing our control template. We began working on the new Sentry, and then we're currently fixing the swerve. And shout out to the Field Fab team again, because that swerve stand is very important for this. And then on some not so much, we started some modeling and dynamics. Do you want to talk about it?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, with the new rules, we're not really sure if it's how necessary it is, but we have started working on some modeling for another wheel leg balancing. And there is a possible collab with Boston University for the robot arm. I was talking with them, and they finished their inverse kinematics solver, or at least they have a version of it working, and they tested it with their actual arm, so they're able to essentially manipulate it to go to some desired positions. One thing that they're interested in, and that we are also interested in, which Jason showed from his videos from the previous presentations, is the controller being like using a kind of like a Wii remote where you can move your arm around and use the IMU data to move the controller. That's something that they thought was also a pretty interesting idea, and that's something we could perhaps collab on, but not much else there.
Awesome. So for some future goals we want to set for the semester, obviously first thing up is we want all the teams to finish the mini-bot, which has so far been looking great. I think we're on pace to do it within like 2 weeks. Then we also want to have all the new members draft a version of the Sentry code for the new Sentry that's coming out before the end of the semester. So that's a project for you guys. All right, you guys are taking ownership of that. The other one is to fix the swerve. Shout out to Field Fab. And then after, we need to get good at Git, bro. We've been having some issues, so I think next lecture during the general meeting we're going to be talking about GitHub. And then finally, want to expand on the documentation / Git wiki, as Tom mentioned earlier. Gulp.
On the note of documentation, we might actually task some of you guys with going through our control base, trying to understand it, and see if you guys can write some documentation for those files, because there's quite a few files, and it's a good exercise for better understanding our code base, I feel. But apart from that, some less important things that we might want to do are perhaps a lecture on Kalman filter, maybe LQR, but that also depends on our own understanding of it. Some other aspects is Lagrangian mechanic workbooks. This is just something that we might try. This is not going to probably happen this semester, but maybe next semester. And as mentioned previously, the modeling for the wheel leg balance.
Cool. That's it.
Okay, hi guys, this is the algorithm team. Daniel can talk about this.
Okay, so far we have finished onboarding for roughly 20 members, and we have divided them into 5 different sub-teams to work on the mentorship projects. So they are currently learning the relevant source code and the concepts, and brainstorming a possible implementation for the mentorship projects.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of update, but we do have some tentative scheduling coming up. So we do our first progress check-in in November, like the beginning of November. And then we have a solution proof of concept coming up. Final solution will be November 30th, and then our mentorship will end December 7th, which is basically when the semester ends.
Okay, nobody from electrical is here today. Any electrical members want to present?
You're an ECE major.
Okay, all right, I got you. All right, sure. Oh, I don't. All right, it's okay. All right, so for electrical team, we had about 6 members finish their onboarding, and we have greater than or equal to 1 member still in progress. So some important progress. New members completed both onboarding projects. Is this a copy of your slides? Okay, they created a new control template. Yeah. Okay, they began working on mentorship projects, which I think is also yours, maybe. But they are improving the supercapacitor, which is definitely an electrical thing. So they're working on analyzing the original capacitor, yeah, there we go, and improving it. And the bottom thing is a copy off the control slides. So electrical team future goals, completing, duplicating, and fabricating onboarding designs. And then besides that, once we get into our workspace, we'll do some soldering training. Very, very important skill. And I think this was mentioned briefly, but they dropped a new rule set for the competition this past Monday. They change the rules up every year. This year's rules are kind of weird, so we're probably gonna discuss what's going on and then prioritize our goals a bit differently. For those of you who are actually pretty familiar with the rules, they removed the base. So there's no base anymore. It's a team deathmatch kind of. So the main objective is you no longer attack the base to win the game. You have to get 200 points, and it's 20 points for eliminating a robot. And there's a center zone in the middle that you can occupy, and you get 1 point per second for occupying that. So they're kind of shifting away the main combat from getting to the base and making it more of a robot on robot combat. And they're also kind of killing self-balancing robots, which is really tragic, but if you have a self-balancing robot, it has to have 4 armor plates now. And if you think about it, the main benefit of a balancing robot right now is you only need 2 plates. So you can just look at the enemy in a way that they can't see your plate so you can't get hit. But they changed it, so now we have to have 4 plates, which kills balancing robots, which is kind of terrible, but we'll have to prioritize accordingly, so we'll make it happen. Besides that, they'll try to have the first version of a supercapacitor done by the end of this March, and try to have most of the mentorship projects done by the end of the semester. Cool.
Hello, I'm Andy, the operation lead for business team. So these are some of our overall progresses that we've done since the start of the semester. So we finally got our Notion page, our business handbook, transferred from one of our old business members' accounts to our club account, and finally kind of formatted it into a wiki. So now each page on our business handbook has like a verification thing that we can go in and say, yes, this page is up to date with information, or it's not, and we need to read over it and make sure it's up to date and verify that it is. Then we had the Girls Who Code and a RoboMaster Club bowling event. That was very, very fun. We had like 6 lanes, I think, booked. Yeah. And then we just like swept everyone between the lanes. It was really fun. And then November Scrum event. Over the past like few weeks, I've been dealing with the APF form for that. Just a bunch of miscellaneous tasks I need to do, like getting the floor plan and actually drafting that out. And then the October Outlook, this, big thanks to Tom and Mason, wherever Mason is. There you are. Yeah, they organized this. Thanks to them, you guys have boba and pizza. Yeah. All right, so a bit more about November Scrim. Basically, this is the miniature version of the March Midwest Conference we're going to be hosting in March. So that version, we're going to be inviting sponsors over to, and they're also inviting definitely a lot more of the teams. So, but then for this one, it's just mainly internal. So like everyone here could probably just like go up and pilot one of the robots. We might have a few of the closer teams here come by. I think maybe UIUC and maybe RHIT. I think, yeah, Jason? VT is coming. Wait, what? VT is coming here? That's an 8-hour drive at least, yeah? Oh, okay. Anyway, context, VT was second place, basically, at RMNA over the summer. They almost beat ARUW, which is the University of Washington. Had the lead for like so long. So like, I think one of the ARUW drivers was just like, they scared us, which doesn't happen. So yeah, VT is very strong. Oh, there's nothing. Thank you. Hopefully we don't get completely destroyed. Anyway, to host one of these things, we definitely need a bunch of volunteers, quote unquote. So usually I would call them volunteers if we're doing the Midwest Conference, but since this is more internal, it's just very much a like test run rehearsal of the Midwest Conference. So it's just, if you guys are interested in helping out with hosting this event, please feel free to fill this out. There's a bunch of little roles in there that I kind of just copy pasted from the Midwest Conference, but feel free to suggest like more roles that you think would help benefit us run this event more smoothly or make it more fun, things like that. Really, I think the main manpower we're going to need is field setup. So I don't know if you guys know, but we have our own wooden field that is in storage, and so we need to transport that from our storage place using a U-Haul all the way down to Spirit Center, and then basically take it all out of the U-Haul and assemble it in Spirit Center. So if you guys are available November 16th morning and November 17th night evening, which is a Saturday and a Sunday, please just like fill this out. Appreciate the help of setting everything up. Alright, please hand if you want to help. Oh, yeah, one more thing. AV. So for the Midwest Conference, we usually stream it on the RoboMaster NA like Twitch stream and also YouTube stream. And so this one, it's an over scrim. Like we're probably not gonna do it on the RMNA accounts. We'll probably stream it from our own YouTube account. But if anyone is interested in like figuring out how to do AV or just wanting to learn how to do like all the AV setup and how to use OBS, things like that, fill out the form and say that you want to do it. Yeah. Because right now we're trying to make the decision of, do we need AV equipment for this? Because it does cost us $50 per day just to have, I think, like 2 microphones for each day. So yeah. If no one wants to really do the AV dry run, we'll just omit the microphones and just use like a laptop, things like that. Cool. That was from earlier. Yeah.
Hey y'all, so for those of you who don't know, for Midwest last year we had rubber ducks. It was a recommendation, and so we went for it. And so this year, that's part of our merchandising. What media team has been focusing on this past month was sticker design, and this coming month we are going to finish and finalize some merchandising for the sponsors, which will be tumblers. And then something that has also come up, there will be a resume workshop, because for Midwest, we do have a resume booklet that will be coming up in a few months or weeks. So if you guys want to have your resume in that resume booklet, please send it in. I will create a Google Forms probably by next Saturday for y'all to submit them. And then this past week, someone brought up the team polos. So 2 years ago, this was our team polo. Last year we didn't do it due to costs, and we did black t-shirts. This next week we'll be further discussing this, and also possibly hoodies. Thank you.
So yeah, business team future goals. Well, case comp is in the case is releasing tomorrow, and then 2 weeks are given for that, and then there's the final presentation competition judging day. So there's that on our plate. That should be what date? November 9th, yeah. And then I think, yeah, basically the week after that, that will be our November scrim. So 16th and 17th, look out for that. And also for media, I think, how's sticker manufacturing? I think you have a few test ones?
Yes, we tested them, and then probably by next Saturday we'll have the
Yeah, nice. Yep, so that's our future goals. All right, Tom, do we have space for this? You think? Okay. Do we want to pull up the rules now?
Okay, so that's like the update content we have, but Andy suggested that we like pull up the rules, and we also had like a mini game planned. So if there's interest, then we can have a mini game with the robots, and you guys can drive them.
Please get up here. We're discussing
I gotta-
rules
I gotta-
like very open manner, I suppose.
I probably have to log in. We can. No, we're not gonna be shooting. No shooting. And he's saying we should just like briefly cover the rules. Yeah, just like briefly talk about them. That didn't work. Why? But you got it? Oh, I don't know. I got a blank screen. Oh, really? Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, it didn't work like... What? Why is it being so weird? It said, okay. Try that again. The D bell. That's. Why is it like this? Why is it being like this? Huh? Oh, I have the rules in the drive. I have the rules in the drive. I forgot about it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm sharing like I'll put my summary in like a text file in here just for now.
You could have just easily put. Actually, no.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Here we go. Oh. And then I think I put the. Where did I put that? Might be. Yeah. It happens. Oh, here's the deep L version. Okay, it's like cracked. Yeah. Okay, I can like just pull up the summary. Yeah. Well, here are these. Yeah. All right. That's good. Okay. All right. So I pulled up the rules. I talked about these for like a second. So I already covered this one, but the new rule, one of them, is that all robots must have 4 armor plates. So again, as I said, that totally kills the self-balance in terms of the advantage. Like really, the remaining advantage is just you can stand up in our case. So we use it a little bit though. We've used it, but.
They nerfed it because they feel everybody is focusing on like the balancing robot setup itself, and they want to encourage more like advanced setups, maybe legged or just in general. And they claim on their presentation when they changed the rules, they said we're gonna change the like benefits for robot to be like not trivial basically. So they're gonna remove like something like economy benefit, because there was like 25% or 50% benefit for balancing robot, and also experience benefit, and also 2 armor plate, which is the most trivial one. And then they are moving towards having the adaptability to different kinds of terrains, especially stairs and these kind of like discrete things. Unfortunately, since right now in North America there's no university champion competition, which get involved with the more complex terrains. UL, which has only the flat grounds, has it's kind of like in a gray area where you don't get the benefit of the 2 armor plates or any of the economy system, and you don't have the complex terrain. So right now it's in a very odd place where we have to think about what our development goals are. Yeah, so.
Okay, and then I talked about the base being removed, which is like so strange, but now it's the point-based system. So as I said, you get 20 points for eliminating a robot, and then you get 1 point per second for occupying like the center zone, and then you have to get 200 points to win. But I actually talked about this with Roy like the other day. I kind of forgot the specifics, but like if you can sit in the center zone for like 10 seconds, you'll get 10 points. And then if you die and then come back to life, you have invincibility for 10 seconds. So if you just sit in the center zone for 10 seconds and die, you're guaranteed 20 points, which is the same amount that you get for killing a robot. So it's like so weird. But, oh yeah, here's the new field. It looks like a 1v1 field. So yeah, they also like tilted the walls, which is a little strange. But this is the center zone I was talking about, so you can occupy that for points. this. Watch. You're gonna get this. Let me know when you see it.
Don't see it. Oh, that's still 3v3. Oh, wait, hold on. No, that's still 3v3. Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah. Then here's a 1v1 field. So it's they look very similar. So this is gonna change the game up a little bit. It's a bit of an interesting change, but overall it should be fine. But most of you don't know this, but the Sentry actually used to be a robot on rails. So if you've looked up a video of the competition, it was a railed robot, and then 2 years back they changed it to be a ground robot. And everyone thought that was kind of like a killing change, and like no one liked it. But in the end, it actually ended up being a net good, I think. So we just kind of have to abide by the rules and like iterate and adapt as we can. And then besides that, a big change is that all robots can actually respawn. So the Sentry can respawn now, which is brand new. So your Sentry dies, it can come back to life like infinite times as long as you don't have the enemy get 200 points. They reduced the launching speed for the Standard and Sentry to 25 meters a second instead of 30. And this is also really interesting. We are required to field one hero robot. We actually don't have a hero built. We had a design that was being assembled like this past summer, but due to like some issues, we're like redesigning as you guys saw. So yeah, we do have to field a hero to compete now. And overall, like the Sentry changes basically make it just like a autonomous standard. Like in the past, it was a bit different because like it would just die and it would be out. But there's really not many differences between the Sentry and the Standard. Besides, there's no human pilot now. Yeah. We actually did that this past summer. We set up the Sentry to just load in, and it would immediately go to the center zone to occupy it. But we like tried that, but like that's a strategy that we could potentially do this year. But this reminded me actually. When I was talking with Roy about the thing where you just sit in the center zone for 10 seconds and you're guaranteed 20 points, the dimensions of the center zone apparently are very similar to the dimensions of the hero, like the maximum dimensions. So she was saying we could just drive the hero into the center zone and park it, and then we could just sit there and it would be really hard to like push it out because it's like very heavy. So I don't know, like I can't confirm we can actually do any of this. This is just like what she said we could possibly do. So she's talking with some people. Yeah. Yeah, they will probably make changes. They've already made a couple small ones, but like we definitely expect there are going to be some more. But I think it'll probably remain about the same. And then if you guys want to read the rules, in our drive, I have the entire doc. It was in Chinese, so I had to translate it using a translator, but I think they dropped the English version like kind of soon. Yeah, all right. Any comments about the rules?
Yeah. So because of the field change, there's no longer bases. And well, if we go back to this thing, wherever it is, if we go back to the field diagram, you can see it does look like a lot like the 1v1. What that means is that at our Midwest conference this year, we could very potentially, there's a large potential for us to just build this entire field and host the Midwest conference in the Armory with a 3v3 field and a 1v1 field at the same time. Because this is a lot easier to construct than the previous field because of the two bases. Each base itself, you'd have to make it look correct with all its dimensions, and you'd also need to have a battery, a control board, and 3 armor plates for the base. But because they removed the bases, all we really need now is more field padding, so basically like the flooring, more wood for the walls, and then the RFID cards for the center point detection and the starting the repair zones or starting zones. So that very potentially we could host this at Midwest this year, just depending on, I think, funding discussions and manpower discussions. Yeah. You guys have any other stuff, comments? Any comments?
Have a great time.
Control thought.
Okay, so obviously the balance bot is like not really a good idea anymore, but we would still like to develop it anyways because we need style points. So yeah. I don't know if they mentioned it already, but there's an engineering challenge. So basically, that's where the ARM comes in. We mentioned at the beginning of the semester. So that means that it's actually something that we need to compete in, and that moves our project timeline up by like a whole year. We're going to be working on the 6-axis ARM now. So that's going to be a pretty cool project. The balancing and then the Sentry and the Hero are actually sharing the same chassis, if I remember. So actually, after you guys finish the Sentry, I'm gonna have a few of you guys start porting code up for the Hero as well. So a lot of work for a control team. Cool.
For the ARM, I will also mention that there is a chance control team will start learning ROS because ROS has an inverse kinematic solver which we might want to use in Sim. Oh.
Well, another thing about the robot arm, we've been in contact with one of the robot arm clubs on campus called Astrobotics. So they are a club, basically, they're a brand new club. Their goal over the next 4-ish years is to send a robot arm into space. So our domains are slightly different, but we did contact them and said they'd be willing to work with us on a robot arm. It's just that most of the people who are working on the robot arm on our club weren't super interested at this point, because it was like 2 years out probably. And then, this dropped, and it's like, well, we need one for this year, and we also now have hard requirements that aren't just stealing from the 7v7 challenge. So maybe we'll have a meeting with them this weekend if you guys are willing. So yeah, I'll discuss with you guys later. Yep. On-field what? On-field robot tracking. Elaborate on that. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, but there should be tags on the field. Yeah, vision tags. So like they're asking if there's like any sort of tracking we can do for the robots, like positioning.
Sentry has LiDAR, which is what we use for like navigation, but they're also they're called the Ruko tags, and they're like just around the field on the walls. Actually, I should probably check they still have them because I haven't looked. But in past years they had like I think it's this. It's probably a little bit hard to see, but like these right here are the Aruko tags, and they're just like a square with like a color and a letter. So we haven't used them in the past, but they're in the same spot always. So there's a way that we can like see them, and then based on like the image that we get of them, we can tell where we are in the field. Yeah, but LiDAR is probably more reliable, but we could like use both together. Yeah. Okay, so that is the content we have. If you guys want to drive the robot, we can set up a mini game. I had like an idea, but I don't know if it's lame. We can try it. So I guess I'll just say thank you all for coming by. I know it's been like a few hours, so I hope you enjoy the boba and food. We'll have more of that. So yeah, thank you guys for coming by. And if you want to drive the robot, come up here and we'll have you guys drive it around. Do we want to meet this weekend? Our like club, because we had this. Oh, just yeah, like a general. Okay, I will be. But
Should we reach out to Astrobotics right? You want to? How confident are you in the DeepL transformation? Want to check it out? Like skip over it? Have fun.
yeah, sure. Worlds for